These habits look strange, but psychology says they're signs of genius.
Okay, so if I move
Do you ever
this
catch
variable over
yourself
here,
talking
wait,
out
that doesn't
loud
account
when
for the
you're
sequence
working
on this
through a
note. Why
problem?
is this connected to that? This is impossible.
Or look at your desk covered in papers, notes, and random stuff, yet somehow it feels perfect to you? Stay up until 2 or 3 inches in the morning, even though you know you have to wake up early? Or zone out in the middle of a meeting while your mind is connecting completely unrelated ideas? If you're nodding along right now, this video is talking directly to you.
This is me.
Millions of people think these habits are weird, even signs that something's wrong with them.
Strange. I don't like it.
But today, science is going to show you the complete opposite. Modern psychology no longer sees these behaviors as strange or flawed. They're clear signs that your brain is operating at a much higher level wired to handle complex information, create nonstop, and notice things other people miss. Today we're diving into 10 weird habits that are extremely common among highly intelligent people. We won't just list them, we'll explore why you do them, what they really mean, the hidden costs, and how to turn them into real superpowers.
Solution A, too
First
complex.
habit,
Solution B,
talking to
Wait, what
yourself
if we
out
try C?
loud.
Yes, that connects here, then moves there. Okay, so if X
You
equals the
mutter
limit
things
response, then
like,
the regulation should kick in
okay,
here.
if
But
I
it's
do
not.
this,
Why is the activity
then what
spiking? I
happens?
need to account for the dissonance variable.
More money and
Or
status is
have
worth the
full
risk.
debates with yourself while
Are you
driving,
serious?
cooking, or
It
even in the
means more
shower.
stress and way less free time.
Then I'll be the king?
A lot of
that's
people
too
feel
much, but they'll
embarrassed
all
if someone
see.
catches them,
Oh
but this
no,
isn't a
I
red
am
flag.
doing it again. Maintaining this
Research
level
from
of
Bangor
verbalization
University in the
stabilizes the gamma
UK
waves
proved that
significantly.
speaking out
This
loud
confirms the
improves
hypothesis
task
regarding
performance,
speech-linked neuroenhancement.
working memory,
while
and
focus
focus.
allows you to zero in on the task at hand.
Okay, let's break this down.
When you hear
First
your
the
own
ideas,
voice,
then the
your
process.
brain
Schedule the
organizes
priorities
thoughts
and
much
outline
more
the steps.
clearly than when they
Yes,
stay
that's much
silent
clearer.
in your head. Root cause. Since you were young, your mind has always moved faster than the people around you. You learned to guide yourself because no one else could keep up.
This makes no sense.
Real-life
The data structure
example.
is correct.
You're
Unless the
debugging
API call is
code or
asynchronous.
preparing
That
for
has
an
to be it.
important
Let me try moving the
presentation,
callback. Our
and
strategy
you
ensures
say,
a 15%
if the
growth
client
margin by
asks about
Q3.
this, how should I respond? That's your brain running simulations to get the best outcome. Second habit, having a constantly messy desk. Papers, books, coffee cups, sticky notes scattered everywhere, yet you can magically find exactly what you need. A famous study by Kathleen Vose at the University of Minnesota showed that messy environments actually boost creative thinking and help people break rules to generate new ideas. People in tidy spaces tend to be more conventional and safe. Root cause. Your brain prioritizes connecting ideas over external order. You live more in your inner world than the physical one. Real-life example. Graphic designers, programmers, and writers often have chaotic desks. But that chaos leads to breakthrough concepts.
Wow!
You might
this
be
idea
looking
is
for an old
brilliant.
document
It's
and
going to
suddenly
change
connect it to a
everything.
current problem
Look
in a
at this.
brilliant way.
A light bulb moment. This will make us rich.
Third habit, staying up late. Classic night owl. You're most productive between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m., even though society keeps pushing early to bed, early to rise. Studies from Imperial College London and others have found that night owls often score higher on cognitive tests, especially in reasoning, memory, and creativity. Root cause. Your internal clock is more flexible, and the quiet of the night gives your brain uninterrupted space to think deeply. Real-life example. Many creators, programmers, and writers in the US and Europe are night owls. You can struggle with a problem all day and then solve it in just 30 minutes at 1 a.m. Fourth habit, frequent daydreaming and mind wandering. You're in a Zoom meeting, but your mind drifts to a completely different idea.
To optimize the workflow and ensure sustainable.
Or you're driving and suddenly figure out the solution to a work problem. Georgia Tech research shows that people who daydream often have more active default mode networks, which leads to higher fluid intelligence and better creativity. Your brain has so much processing power that it constantly connects random ideas in the background. Real-life example. Some of your best business ideas or relationship insights come while you're washing dishes or taking a shower when you're doing nothing.
Why?
Fifth habit. Constantly asking why. About everything.
Why? The old way is best.
You don't accept
We've
because
always
that's
done
how
it.
it's always been done.
Boring.
You challenge company processes, social rules, and even your own beliefs. This is a strong marker of openness to experience, one of the biggest predictors of intelligence and creativity in the Big Five personality traits.
What is this?
You've been extremely
How does
curious
it
since
work?
childhood, whether because
Why?
your environment
Where did it
encouraged it
come
or
from?
because you had to figure things out on your own. Real-life example.
This is the
In
core of the new
meetings,
strategy.
you're often the
By
only
integrating
one
this
who
approach,
asks,
we can
but
unlock
what if we tried it
unprecedented
this way
growth and
instead?
solve the challenges we've been facing. Is this the
And
wrong
sometimes
problem we're
that
solving?
question completely changes the project. Sixth habit. Overthinking, but in a structured way. You examine every angle and every possible scenario before making a decision. The downside is mental exhaustion, but the upside is deeper, more accurate decisions with fewer mistakes. Real-life example. Before switching jobs, investing money, or even choosing a restaurant, you analyze dozens of factors while others decide in 5 minutes. Seventh habit. Procrastinating until the deadline creates pressure. Your brain needs that urgency to focus at its highest level. Research shows intelligent people often procrastinate because they hate wasting energy on tasks that don't challenge them enough. Real-life example. You leave the big presentation until 2 days before the deadline, then crush it in record time. Eighth habit. Requiring a lot of solitude. Parties and networking drain you quickly. You recharge best when you're alone. This is how a high IQ brain processes information and recovers. Real-life example. After a full day of meetings, you turn down happy hour so you can go home, read, or think. And that's exactly when your best breakthroughs happen.
Well, look on the
Ninth
bright
habit.
side.
Dark
This
or
just
highly
saved me
sarcastic humor.
hours of updating my resume. Terrible. It's
You find
hilarious.
humor in things
I
others
can't believe
consider
you said that out
serious,
loud. That is so... Laughter is
and
the
you
best
use it to
medicine,
cope
so I'm
with how
currently running a
complex
full-scale
life really
pharmaceutical
is.
lab for my existential dread. I appreciate
Real-life
the
example.
transparency of
During a
specifying
stressful
which
situation
hour
at
is
work,
happy.
you drop a dark
Saves
joke
time
that
looking
makes
for the other
everyone laugh
23.
and think at the same time. 10th habit. Never-ending curiosity and falling down rabbit holes. You look up one thing on Google, and 3 hours later, you're deep into a completely different topic. This is the core fuel of lifelong intelligence. Real-life example. You plan to relax on the weekend, but end up spending the whole day learning about history, science, or a new skill, and you feel energized afterward. All these habits come with a price. Feeling lonely, even in a crowd, mental overload, difficulty with shallow relationships, and sometimes burnout from thinking too deeply. Many highly intelligent people feel like aliens living in a world built for average minds. But none of this is your fault. None of these habits are weaknesses. They're proof that your brain is wired differently, more efficient at handling complexity, creativity, and seeing the bigger picture. You're not weird. You're not lazy. You're not antisocial. You're simply operating on a higher frequency than most of the world. Be proud of that. You're not weak. You're not strange. You're a highly intelligent person trying to thrive in a world designed for the average. If you relate to 6 or more of these habits, welcome to the family. Drop a comment right now. Which habit resonates with you the most? What number? And how does it show up in your life? If this video made you feel truly understood, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to see it. Subscribe and turn on notifications. This is a safe place for minds like ours to connect, learn, and finally be heard. Thank you for watching until the end. You're not alone. See you in the next video.